Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 22nd edition of Star Wars Headlines. I'm Rebekah Mosley, the co-founder of LaughingPlace.com, and with me is Mike Celestino, our editorial director of Star Wars content. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Who's your guest today? Right there.
This is the Hoth Rebel Trooper.
Ooh,
when I got this figure, so they had I remember it was at, I think, Star Wars Celebration when they announced this figure. I was at the panel for the Hasbro toys, and they said he would have a different face. Like, you could switch out the faces so you could, like, build the armies and stuff. And then I got the figure, and I was like, where's his other face? Like, he didn't have another face. And then, like, I remember I did a video review on the YouTube channel, and somebody pointed out that you have to take off his backpack and open up this little panel. Let's see if I can do it. Yep. It's tough. So in this...
And then it fell. And it's in the back. He keeps his face in the backpack.
In this little panel is his spare face that you can switch out. So one of them has a beard and one does not.
Okay, there you go. We're live here, so as we discuss this week's headlines, feel free to jump in. For example, Kidder's letting us know that they're working on a puzzle. It resembles Disney Pixar film Onward. So there you go. So something from Onward happening over at Kidder's place.
Fun.
Yep. Well, I guess we should go ahead and start off with the book review that Mike has shared at Laughing Place.
Oh, yeah, I meant to bring the book in the room, but it's in the other room. But there you go. There's the cover. This is Star Wars Thrawn Ascendancy Greater Good. It's the second part of the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy by Timothy Zahn, one of the more respected Star Wars authors. He's been doing it for 30 years now. And he created the character of Thrawn back in Heir to the Empire 1991. So it is the 30th anniversary of that character. And this is another really good novel from Timothy Zahn. This one, I found it interesting because they actually shifted the focus away from Thrawn and more on the supporting characters in this one. Because this entire trilogy takes place outside of the main Star Wars galaxy and in this area of space called the Chaos, which is where the Chiss species live. And there's a lot of, like, political intrigue and military machinations and stuff like that. There's some spies, alien spies, and a lot of interesting stuff going on in this book.
That was one of the things that caught my eye in your review, Mike, was the reminder that in many ways Timothy Zahn was kind of allowed his own sandbox. This is not immediately doesn't have immediate connective tissue to everything that we know within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, so if you're looking for familiar Star Wars characters, except for Grand Admiral Thrawn, there are none in this book. But I actually really appreciate that about it, that it doesn't go out of its way to, like, tie in with other Star Wars stuff. In the previous book, he met Anakin Skywalker in part of it, but that was like a crossover with one of the other Thrawn novels. But in this one, it's pretty much just in that other part of space that doesn't have any familiar planets or characters that we know. And I think it's fine. Like, I love that Star Wars can also explore this other stuff that we don't really know about, and he can kind of build his own little corner of the galaxy and play around in there. There is a mysterious character who's got, like, a veil. He wears, like, a veil, and he wears, like, a robe, and he's completely covered, and people keep saying they don't know what he really looks like. So I have a feeling in the third book, when they finally reveal who that is, it's probably going to turn out to be somebody we know.
Oh, so that'll be kind of a bit of a bridge in the same way. In the same way, Ahsoka dropped his name in the Mandalorian, right? I'm remembering correctly. He dropped his name in the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So Thrawn was name checked in the Mandalorian, and he will likely be the main villain of the Ahsoka live action TV series that's coming up on Disney Plus as well.
So Mike continues to be a big proponent of the Thrawn Chronicles, as I'll call them, the Thrawn Chronicles.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Thrawn fan, I think.
Over in the comic book world, Mike reviewed the latest edition of Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, usually I really like this comic, but this issue kind of let me down. I thought there were a couple things in here that I thought were kind of lame, actually. There's a part where they have to break into this lab, and what they do is they like find these interns that are getting coffee for the main scientist there, and they just knock them out and take their clothes. It was like so cliche.
Okay.
Like I was like rolling my eyes how lame that was. And maybe that's the joke, is that it is like a cliche lame thing to do, but it didn't work for me because I mean Dr. Aphra's kind of tongue in cheek anyway. But another thing that's kind of bugging me this month is all the comics are building up to this War of the Bounty Hunters crossover event, so I feel like they're kind of hindered with what they can do because all the pieces kind of have to be in the right place to start that event next month. So I think that's holding back Dr. Aphra a little bit as well. But once that kicks off, I think it'll be pretty exciting. And then once the comics can get back to telling their own stories, I'll enjoy that as well.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is always the challenge with anytime you kind of dive into that a bit of a cliche. Even in the Indiana Jones, I feel like there were moments where some of that shtick would work. Was perfect on note, and then other times it took you out a little bit. It was played a little less. So, yeah,
I remember in college, a friend of mine wrote this sketch about. It was like it started with Indiana Jones like knocking out a Nazi or somebody and taking his clothes and then infiltrating the base, but then like instead of following Indiana Jones, you would follow the Nazi character who's like now wearing Indiana Jones's clothes, and he goes back to America and like starts living Indiana Jones's life. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty funny.
Like a little. That's okay to follow the other side of the point. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I'd read that fanfic. In the TV realm, we got some casting news for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah, how about that? I made that in Photoshop today.
Nice.
I've never seen the show Pen 15. Have you seen that, Alex?
I have not. I think Alex
loves it.
Okay, yeah.
But this girl, her name is, you got to remind me.
Maya Erskine.
Maya Erskine. She's going to be reportedly from Deadline today. She's going to be joining the cast of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus in at least 3 episodes, they said. So if you like that show on Hulu, she's the co-creator of Pen 15 and the star of that show, and now she's going to be on Obi-Wan.
And as we know, the Obi-Wan series is going to kind of offer us his middle-aged years, the time period between the prequels and the original trilogy. So we'll get to explore a different chapter, as it were, in the life of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
The VR game, Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, is going to be... Is this like a second chapter?
So they're releasing, kind of like they did with Vader Immortal, which came out in 3 parts. They're doing the same thing with Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and part 1 came out in November last year, I think, and then they said part 2 is coming later this year. But this week they revealed that you're going to be able to meet Doc Ondar from the parks. If you go to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland or Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida, you can see the audio animatronic for Doc Ondar in the Den of Antiquities. And then now he's going to pop up in that VR game as well.
Looks like you'll get to play some sabacc with him at the cantina, maybe. Or maybe he's buying something.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, that looked like a card, but now I realize, no, that's some sort of like device. So you're probably
kind of
buying something from him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So yeah.
And they said that was his translator droid on the left there.
Gotcha. He's cute. Or I like droids. That's a cute droid. Okay. Um, coming from ILM by Lab is the Vader Immortal continuing. They're gonna repackage and offer it in a special retail collection.
Yeah, we had kind of talked about this on your show on Barely Necessities that I mentioned the Vader Immortal VR series, which has now come out a couple years ago, I guess. I had it on Oculus, and then it came out on PlayStation via download. But now you can go out and buy a retail edition for your for PlayStation VR, which I guess is going to be a physical disc, though I am not 100% sure on that.
And then something we are more sure about, this
Yes.
Holochess prop replica. Although I guess over the years the name of the game has been revealed. They don't call it Holochess anymore, do they?
Yeah, so there was in like the 90s they went back, Lucasfilm went back and renamed all the stuff from the original films to make it less like generic. Um and Holochess became Degeric, which is what they call it now, but you can see here our friends over at Regal Robot are creating this set. It is officially licensed, and it is based off of the scans that they did of the original props when they used them again in The Force Awakens and Solo: A Star Wars Story. But it looks like a really, really nice set, very highly detailed. And if you buy this set, comes with all 10, including there's 2 in there that are considered lost creatures because they weren't actually in the original film. If you go down a little bit, yeah, you can see the 2 that were the lost creatures. And then the full set comes with that plaque that's autographed by Phil Tippett, Dennis Muren, and who's the third guy? One of the other ILM artists.
I'm gonna make it just you and me, and then I'm gonna scroll real fast so I don't give everybody
yeah, I'm just blanking on his name.
Phil Tippett, John Berg, and
John Berg,
Dennis Muren.
Yeah, so they were all at Industrial Light and Magic and worked on that scene and creating those creatures and stuff. Very famous scene from Star Wars, and it's cool that those will be available. There have been other, I mean, at Galaxy's Edge, in fact, I have the Degeric board you can buy, but then they also were selling replicas of those characters there. But I think these are a little bit closer to like one-to-one scale from what the actual puppets were that they used in the movie, and then very, very detailed. I'm sure it'll be pricey. This set will be pricey. They haven't released the price, but it's going to be pricey.
And the way this is going to work is the sales will open on May 4th at noon, you know, as we kind of begin the eve of Star Wars Day. And the orders will continue through June 18th. And then at that point, editions will be closed and capped.
Yeah, and this set that we're looking at here is limited to 77 pieces.
Yes.
But you can also get them in 2 packs of creatures without the lost creatures. So you won't be able to get all 10, but you can get the 8 that you see in the original film via getting the 2 packs, but only through June 18th because it is kind of a limited run.
And then with Star Wars Day on the horizon, we have collected a few offerings from various European retailers. So if you are watching us from across the pond, be sure and check out the collection that we were able to share. A lot of these items, by the way, are available for the U.S. audience as well, but we were able to find specific affiliates overseas that our viewers over there can watch. And obviously, a bit of the purchase, your price isn't increased, but a bit of that goes to funding Laughing Place and our various shows here. Items that caught my eye was this Rebel Alliance 1977 t-shirt. I like the Millennium Falcon kind of taking off into the sky. The two-sided Death Star puzzle. This looks obscenely difficult.
Wait a minute. It's 2 sides. What's on the other side?
I'm guessing. Typically, I think that it's like.
There you can see.
Yeah.
So one's like a hologram, I think, right?
Yeah. When when is no?
Oh, the
Is it
blueprint.
hologram or the blueprint? Yeah.
Blueprints, yeah.
So you've got the blueprints on one side, and then you've got the photorealistic image on the other side.
Okay,
Which is
but you can kind of tell because the lighter blue one's going to be the
well,
blueprint.
and yeah, but I still think the puzzle itself. This is
Yes. It is
there's not
still
a lot
also
of
going to be difficult.
diversity in images and colors in order to help you put together this puzzle. So I was
We're
like, wow.
we're doing one right now that I got at Disneyland like a month or two ago. That was the poster, the movie, not the movie poster, but the attraction poster for Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. And
Oh,
that one is tough. That is
yeah. There's
pretty difficult.
a lot of same colors in there.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't heard of this game. Oh, now it's going to ask me about my cookies. Okay, there you go. This is a card game, Mike. Have you heard of this? It's called Don't Upset the Wookiee.
No.
And I don't know if you can hear. I'm going to try and enlarge the images. But yeah, it's a little card game, and then the plush Wookiee is how you keep the cards. And once again, this is also available here in the U.S. But it's a basic card game where you have the numbers are increased in value, so you try and capture them. It felt similar to Crazy Eights or similar to Uno. So
Okay.
yeah, so these were all new to me, but with May the 4th around the corner, I know we're going to have a lot of fun Star Wars items on the horizon, including a Lego offering that I wanted to showcase here. It is a R2-D2.
This is a new Lego R2-D2. It's much larger than the minifigure scale one, which you can see there on the bottom left, because it does come with that as well. But it's just bigger and more detailed, and it's got more going on. I actually have it's kind of a similar Lego built R2-D2. This came with the Droid Builder set, and you can actually put the battery pack in here, and he'll move around.
Oh, that's cute.
The app, you can control it via the app and stuff. So this is probably around maybe a little smaller than that R2 we were looking at there, but
yeah,
just another Lego R2.
Part of what caught my eye with this particular set is this detail at top, the telescoping feature. There you go, and then the
Sai has the lightsaber,
and he comes with the lightsaber as well. So those were what caught my eye. And and that'll be here on May 1st. And then I also wanted to remind everyone that the Imperial Probe Droid set is going to be dropping April 26th. So if that's on your wish list, be sure. Viper Probe Droid. I call it Imperial I call it Imperial Probe Droid. The main website calls it Imperial Probe Droid. But if you look closely at the card that accompanies it, it says Viper Probe Droid.
Yeah, I think either is acceptable, I would say.
Okay. And then also wanted to be sure everyone knows that over at Lego, they are doing another mini build gift with purchase. This is for the dates of May 1st through 5th for purchases over $85. And it is the home of Owen and Aunt Beru.
I hadn't seen that before, but that's pretty neat. I wonder why they made the house, they made it white, which is weird.
Maybe just to aesthetically to give it a little bit of contrast, maybe.
I guess is it closer to white than like a tan? I'm trying to remember, but it stood out to me as being the wrong color. But maybe it is closer to white. Yeah, that's a cool set. I have the Return of the Jedi one from last year, which was like the battle of the second Death Star battle.
I feel like it is more white if it was actually like not impacted terribly by the elements. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like it kind of.
Yeah.
It's been so sand washed over the years that it's kind of taken on a bit of a more tan hue. And then Hasbro has announced some Clone Wars figures coming.
Yeah, this is part of the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm collection. And this is meant to, the packaging is meant to reflect the way that the toys looked when they came out, while the series was running in the smaller scale. And now these are the 6-inch versions of General Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um, One of these guys is Echo, the ARC Trooper Echo, and then one of them is a pilot, and then Anakin Skywalker there.
I'll scroll down to the other clones. Let's see, we've got Anakin and Obi, and then we've got Clone Pilot Hawk here, which ARC Trooper Echo here.
Right, yeah. Whoever
and
put
then,
that together and mixed them up.
And then down lower we will have Clone Pilot Hawk.
So. Yeah, wrong heading there, but that wasn't me.
I wonder if over the course of Bad Batch, I'll finally get a few of these names. These aren't Bad Batch characters, right? Or
no, these are from very specific episodes of the Clone Wars, I think. Because I mean, Echo is part of the Bad Batch now, but that's after he was kidnapped by the Separatists and they experimented on him and he became like a cyborg and stuff. So, but yeah, I will never remember all the names of the clones, so don't worry about that.
There's so many.
Yeah.
and it's getting to that time of year when Hallmark starts to share what's coming for the holidays, and we've got a collection from A New Hope, including Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the droids. And if oh wait, that's not it. Oh. And then that was something else I was going to say.
Well, that was cool. I hadn't seen any of this before.
It's a surprise. Don't pretend you didn't see that. But actually, the way this set works is if you purchase the whole set, and my screen just went dark on me.
Disco Death Star.
Yeah, well, when you purchase the whole set, it'll interact with each other like a scene from the film.
Wow.
Are you able to hear this, Mike?
No, I don't hear it.
You can as each character is illuminating, the dialogue from the film is happening. For example, the line where he's like, "I believe this droid belongs to Obi-Wan Kenobi," and then and then the other figure will illuminate, and you hear Alec Guinness's voice saying, "I haven't heard that. That's a name I've not heard for many years." That type of thing. So, are you still there, Mike?
I'm here.
Okay, because my screen that you're on has gone completely dark.
Okay.
So, and then I also, in picking up that information, I found this Boba Fett ornament.
Yeah, that's cool. That's from the final scene of The Mandalorian season 2, the post-credit scene when they decided to just do the MCU thing of teasing what's coming next. That's pretty neat. It's the first representation of that scene that I've seen in merchandise, which is cool.
And a lot of these ornaments are coming out later this year. This one, in fact, is not scheduled until the fall. So, hey, you guys get to see me close a few tabs in hopes that it will give my machine more. Okay. Next up, we have a collection of T-shirts from Junk Food that combine the Star Wars saga and football. We have the Raiders. They have a line that is the Raider. Oh, you're back. Okay, I feel better now. I can see you. You're there. Okay. They have two. They have a collection from representing Disney. They have Mickey Mouse as a quarterback. They have the Avengers and in various team colors, but then they also have a collection that is the dark side or the rebels. And with the rebels, you get Luke, Leia, and Han in your team colors. And with the dark side, you get Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and a Stormtrooper in your team colors. So if you check out Junk Food Clothing, you will find those items there.
Wait, so it doesn't have to be the Raiders?
No, they actually
Okay.
it actually is like in various teams. They don't have all of them. Here, let me pull up the page with the variety so you can see, because there's the Raiders, but then as you would scroll down, so you would see the Steelers, and they have it with like the familiar black and yellow of the Raiders, or the see how the Steelers, they've got them in yellow.
Yeah,
with the Dolphins, it's like orange and turquoise. See,
this is
with
the second
Eagles,
time that I'm seeing these, and I don't get it.
It's purely your love of Star Wars combined with your team colors. That's what it is.
But if I were a fan of both the Philadelphia Eagles and Star Wars, and I bought that shirt and wore it around, and people were confused by it, I wouldn't blame them, because like, what does Darth Vader have to do with the Philadelphia Eagles? I don't know.
I'm particularly fond of the Miami Dolphin Rebels combination, because the colors are just so unusual, because it's that orange and teal. So yeah, it's fun. I don't know. Okay. I'm with you in that it wouldn't be how it wouldn't be how I would combine my love of football and Star Wars. But what if you were going to NFL games a lot? It would give you something to wear to a game and still have something Star Wars. So okay. There you go. over at fun.com, they are beginning to highlight a few more Star Wars items, probably also as May the 4th approaches. In fact, I think Mike is wearing one of them.
Yeah, I put it on the shirt again.
Look, Mike and his Mandalorian. We love this shirt. I really do love this shirt. And thank you to fun.com for sending that over to us. But we also wanted to highlight some of the other items they've got over there. They've got this Wampa rug that you can adorn your living space with, along with these child sneakers. And we talked about these on Barely Necessities, Laughing Places, Disney merchandise show. We had some fun with this on Tuesday. On Tuesday. All my days are blending together. And then with Mother's Day around the corner, I just wanted to briefly remind you that often over at LovePop, they have Star Wars cards. And so if you have a mom who adores Star Wars, be sure and keep them in mind as you are preparing for Mother's Day next month.
That reminds me, I got to get a Mother's Day card. Thank you for that reminder.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, so that's what's been happening in the world of Star Wars. And Mike Celestino and the LP News Desk have been doing their best to keep everybody informed. As always, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll get information like these articles, right there in your timeline, and you'll know what's happening. If you're enjoying this stream, Laughing Place offers lots of different Disney and their various enterprises. We talk about them all here, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, the theme parks. That's what we do here at the LP YouTube. And when Mike is not writing articles or chit-chatting here on LP, he is hosting Who's the Bossk? And so, Mike, why don't you let everybody know who was your guest and topic this week at Who's the Bossk?
Yeah, the aforementioned Alex Reif was on my show, Who's the Bossk, this week, where we talked about the film Return to Oz as part of the Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Retrospective. Return to Oz was released by Disney. It wasn't actually put out under the Lucasfilm label, but George Lucas was involved as a consultant, so I included that on my list of all the projects I wanted to talk about this year on the show. So you can go and check that out on the Who's the Bossk podcast.
And to keep track of all things Mike Celestino, you can follow him at Who's the Bossk Pod. I need to remember to go back and re-edit that so that it has your capitalization correctly. That's better. That's the way it should be. And I guess over here at Laughing Place later today, we will have our LPTV club. And on Saturday night at 7:30, we will be having Disney Trivia Live. So be sure to stick around. And we always having some Disney fun here at the Laughing Place YouTube. So thanks for tuning in on this week of Star Wars Headlines, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.